What is up, people? It is me, Monster58. Welcome back to another episode of Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. In the previous part, we betrayed Carla, Chatty, Walter, Overseer. We betrayed everybody, and we are working now with Air and the Rubiconians to exile the extraplanetary corporations of Arquebus. Well, particularly just Arquebus right now. Ended up taking down trying to take down the Xylem, and in turn ended up running into V2 Snail. And with the assistance of Rusty, we were able to defeat Snail and a good chunk of the Arquebus fleet. However, unfortunately, it seems that Rusty was taken out by some unknown force. And today is our finale of playthrough number 2. So everyone get ready. I was thinking of what build to bring. I was gonna bring the double Huxley build that I used in like the last couple episodes, 2 episodes ago in particular. However, I felt that might make this fight easier, because I'm gonna tell you this right now. I find Air a more difficult final boss than this final boss, and it's not that I don't find this boss difficult. This boss certainly gives me more tries than I would necessarily expect, but it certainly wasn't to the extent that it was with Air, especially for my first time playing this route on this game. Fair warning, it's not. It's tough, but it's not. I don't think it's tougher than Air. I don't think this final boss is tougher than Air. It's a very cool fight, but again, it's more the atmosphere of this fight rather than the actual fight itself being difficult. Again, you can be killed easily in this fight. First time around, it took me maybe 5 to 10 tries or something like that, but it really wasn't that bad. With Air, I was up until like 2 in the morning, 30 plus attempts trying to beat her before I could when I first played through this game. So, without further ado, folks, let's take a look at the missions. Our last mission for our finale: bring down the Xylem.
The Xylem is beginning its descent. Now, we just need to destroy the ramjet engines. Let's put an end to this, Raven. We're going home. To Rubicon. The world you saved.
And so, yes, I don't know if I made that conclusion, but we're bringing the Moonlight build. I feel like, especially for the way that this fight goes, a very cool build to bring to this fight. And I think it'll be fine. If it's not, we'll obviously switch, but...
We'll also need to prepare for re-entry. Be ready to escape once we're finished.
Main system activating combat mode.
It's one of the ramjet engines. Please, destroy the target.
Yep, it is time to do this. Now, the nice thing about the Moonlight is that it is ranged. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that, folks, but I was saying that it's nice that it's ranged. It's easier to take these jet engines out with these, with the Moonlight. Goodness, I couldn't think.
Starboard chamber is silent. The Xylem is falling from orbit. The coral's safe. Rubicon's safe.
Is that you? They... 621. I have to.
Watch out!
Patience. Others. My friend's mission. Eliminate all obstacles.
Alright guys, we're fighting Walter and his AC. That's why I said this fight really isn't...
You're in danger. We have to defend ourselves.
2 repair kits remaining.
Voice. 621. I see it next to you. Yes. Kindling for the fire.
Great. We're re-entering Rubicon's atmosphere. There's no time. Hurry!
Something's alive. It doesn't die easy. You have to burn every last cinder. Burn the coral, and our job will be over. Credits. Do the surgery. Be normal again.
Walter! Stop!
Alrighty, let's keep it moving. His wide sweeping attacks, they're really annoying to avoid, because those are actual weapons, I'm gonna tell you that right now, that you can actually get. Oh, so close. Almost got him, almost got him. But he's not too tough, like I told you. I mean, I think I'll first try this guy.
The mission. My friend's wishes. Look at you, 621. You found a friend.
Walter! We have to go, Raven. Raven. One day, humanity and Coral will thrive together. You kept our potential safe. I know Walter feared a collapse. But I promise you, there's another way. Raven. We'll find it together.
Alrighty, folks, and so we have finished the Liberator of Rubicon ending, which is the more good ending of the two instead of the Fighters of Raymond ending. Now, there's a couple of things I'd like to get out of the way. First off, talking about the fight itself. Like you saw, this fight really isn't all that bad. I find Air much more difficult than I find Walter, because Walter's essentially just an AC fight. So bring whatever you're comfortable with. I honestly don't think that there's any build in particular that's like, you know, the best against him. Obviously there is, but I think you can come in with pretty much anything you want. Tank legs, quad legs, bipedal light, bipedal heavy, bipedal medium, and you'll be perfectly fine, provided your build is pretty well rounded or it's focused on doing one thing and it does it really well. I think you'll be fine. The other reason I didn't bring the Huxley build is because I'm not going to lie to you, I probably would have one-shot him. And if I one-shot him, that would have completely removed a lot of the audio. So to bring a more, like, cinematic AC build to this fight, I felt was a bit more appropriate, so that you guys could hear a good chunk, if not most, if not all of the audio that he is able to speak. But the other things I like to get out of the way are two things. First off, Rusty ends up getting killed at the end of the mission previous to this. And it's believed, headcanon theories that people have been talking about. I was looking on Reddit to see what people were thinking, you know, their theories, is that Walter took him out. And the other part of this that I'd like to also say is that how did Walter get in that AC, right? That coral-based AC. I think the running theory that people want to believe is essentially the idea that Walter, he was captured by Arquebus just as we are when we were captured by them at the Coral Convergence by Snail, right? And in the similar vein, we were sent for re-education, quote-unquote, as it was said, and including, right, not just us, but Walter as well. And so I think the theory goes that essentially, if you guys know Transformers Prime, I'm obviously a Transformers person. There's this character in Transformers Prime, a human character, that ends up essentially getting bioengineered to a dead Transformer body. And so that's a sort of the idea here that I think people have this theory about, is essentially during this re-education when he was captured by Arquebus, Walter was essentially bioengineered and attached to an AC to the point where it is literally his body, right? Like, another one is from the World Race Hot Wheels. If you guys know that Highway 35 Acceleracers, there's a character that ends up getting essentially bio-re-engineered. So stuff like that. So that is the theory, prevailing theory with how Walter ends up fighting you in his AC. But yeah, overall, really fun ending. I do like the fact that you team up with Rusty. I like all that stuff. And the fact that you're fighting for the Rubiconians in this is really, really fun. You know, you get a more... You know, we're defending this planet that's been essentially war-torn by these corporations because they're greedy for the coral. Obviously, Walter and Carlo want to destroy the coral, but at the end of the day, the destruction of the coral will only end up making Rubicon a complete barren wasteland, meaning all the Rubiconians left on the planet have nothing to rebuild from in the first place. So now there's a chance to rebuild now that we have liberated Rubicon from these corporations. And so, I'll tell you this right now. Playthrough 3, this is where things really pick up, and there's a lot of differences between your first and your second playthrough. For your first and your second playthroughs, there's small variations, and obviously you can take the different paths for the different missions, but here, there's a lot of new stuff, and you better buckle up, because I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of stuff in the third playthrough, my first time around, that really, like, threw me off, and made me sort of, like, eerily, like... weird, and you'll see what I mean, and I'll point out these moments when we get to them. But yeah, this is playthrough's going to be much different in my opinion. And so when we're talking about this third playthrough, I think that I'm going to end up probably showing most of the audio from the mission debriefings where they're more appropriate. There's obviously going to be missions that are still carried over from the previous two playthroughs that are going to be exactly the same with no differences whatsoever. But there's a lot more differences in the actual missions this time around in comparison to the first and second playthroughs. So get ready for this and buckle up. There's going to be a lot of different ways I'm going to be doing this, and I hope that you guys will find it entertaining still, but we'll see eventually how I do decide to edit this, but I'm going to try and edit it in a more, I know, in a different way, trying to make this a little more palpable, like just showing you more of these differences with these missions and stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that yet. Maybe it'll just be as simple as how I've been doing it recently, but yeah, guys, I think, like I said, I don't want to show the rest of the credits because this isn't the third playthrough, and so let's get into and start off and sort of set ourselves up for playthrough number 3.
Raven, you took on my hopes, my selfish dream. Now, I want to see the future that you choose. Whatever waits ahead, I'll support you.
Alrighty, before we even get into this, we do get access to all of Walter's stuff. So we get access to the coral head, the coral body, the coral legs, everything.
Registration number RB23. Call sign Raven. Authentication complete. Removing MIA status. Restoring access privileges. This is All Mind, the mercenary support system. Welcome back, Raven.
Looks like you passed the authentication. You've got plenty of experience. Should be ready for whatever Rubicon throws at you. I've picked up some work for you already. Take a look, 621.
Alrighty, and so as you can see, we do have access to all of Walter's stuff. So we have access to the coral head, we have access to the coral arms, which do look really freaking cool. In particular, or the chest, sorry. In particular, the back looks really amazing. I saw someone make a build with this with these. Where is it? Where the hell are those shoulder weapons that I was using? Where are they? Oh, come on, where the heck are they? I have them. These. So someone built that chest with these, and it just looks like it fits perfectly well. And then you can see the legs here, which the legs are some of the coolest looking legs in the game, in my opinion. I love how these legs look. And then you obviously have... oh, yeah, we just went through... Oh, no, the arms. Yeah, I didn't show the arms. Sorry about that. Where are the arms? There are the arms. So, got some really cool looking stuff around here. So, also, just evident as the fact that you fought him, yes, you will also eventually get access to all of his weapons as well. There's some really cool weapons with some really interesting stuff that you can build, and I'm definitely probably going to be experimenting with that throughout the Let's Play. But yeah, guys, with us finishing our next playthrough, or our second playthrough, taking a look at the next mission, very similar stuff. Destroy the artillery installations, Grid 135 cleanup. And so... with the second playthrough out of the way, next time on Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, we'll be starting off our third and final playthrough of this game. So I hope you guys get ready for that. So, I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Also follow me on the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this episode. Catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.
High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create.